Evening, Pashas Yiseitze, Tavshin Pei Dalet. 3 weeks from Rosh Hashanah. There must be a reason to read this parasha always 3 weeks before Rosh Hashanah. But anyway, I'm not here to give musar or just want to learn the psukim here and see what they have to say to us. Because obviously there's a tremendous side, very few psukim we're going to learn today. In the parsha of Tzippor, of the bird nest that's found on the way, there is only 2 psukim. And so much ink has been used to write about these, and we still don't go to the bottom. One of the biggest soidos in the Torah is the Tzippor, this nest. So there's a lot of aspects to it, and you see, not a lot of psukim, pretty straightforward, but the side that we're gonna develop is tremendous. Let's start with the pasuk here, the first pasuk. We're not gonna be able to go too far. Ki yikare. It happens. Kan tzipor lefanecha. A bird's nest before you. So really, we're talking about if by chance you stumble over a nest, not looking for it, you stumble on it. So here, ikare like this means you call. It should have been a hey. It happened. If it happens that you stumble on a nest. So the dikduk here is completely wrong. All right, let's keep on. Kan tzipor, a bird's nest. Lefanecha, before you. Because if it's behind you, you pass it and you say, you know what, I don't have time really now. I don't really care. Oh, it's too high. I don't have a ladder. You're not allowed to go back. It's in Siman Resh Tzadik base in Yoreh De'ah. No such halacha. Yeah, you can go home, get a ladder, come back. You passed it. You didn't want to do it. You changed your mind. Go back, do it. So why lefanecha? Baderech. Oh, only if you're traveling. If it's across from your house, there's abandoned field, or a park. And, I should have said behind your house. Oh, yeah. Across from your house, you have a park, and then you see a dove's nest. And you know it's kosher, and you know you can do it. Oh, there's no mitzvah of Tzippor? For sure there is. The only place there is not, if it's in your own property, or if you have birds that you set up in a place, you have like a chicken coop, or you have a dove's nest, that at this point, no, it's your potter from Tzippor. But derech, no, you can do it, even if it's in the city. Okay, presumably the pasuk should have stopped there, but he's adding a few words that cannot be explained. Bechol eitz, in every tree. Okay, that obviously doesn't mean that you have to find on every tree around you, a nest. So you should have said, I don't know, just like this, because we don't care where it is. It could be on a tree or it could be on the ground. Applies the mitzvah of Shilוח Haken. Oh, what did I just said? What we call that mitzvah? Shiluach Haken. Shilua haken. Remember those words, okay? I'm coming back to them. So, bechol eitz oy ala aretz can be explained. So, if it's anywhere, so just say ki karikan tzipor lefanecha paderech. Now it goes a pasuk efroichim oy beitzim. Whether it's little birds or it's eggs. Fine. Means you can do shiluach haken on any of them. I'm fine. I'm learning from there. And the mother hovers over the birds. So the halacha, how we see, is we check. Let's say the mother is sitting on a branch over the nest. So she's not on the nest. So you would think it's mutar to do shiluach haken. The really by halacha, we see that if the branch she is on top of the nest, it's exactly as she would be in the nest. You need to do a shiluach again. You need to send her away. She cannot be hovering over the nest, even it's way on top. Oh, look at this. Ala efroichim oyala beitzim. Why do you have to repeat that? You could have said, Bechol eitz oy alaretz, efroichim oy beitzim, veha'im, and the mother of beitzes hovers aleihem, on them. I know who is them. It's the efroichim or the beitzim. Why do you have to repeat that language here? If you guys think I'm going to write to this in the pasuk, you're dreaming. Lo isikach ha'im ala banim. You're not allowed to take the mother on top of the children. But I don't want the mother. Who said I want the mother? I want to take the children. Only the mother hovers on the children. I'm not taking the mother. So what it means here, lo yisikach ha'im ala banim. Just for the sake of learning this parsha here, finishing it, I'm going to learn the second pasuk. Shaleach teshalach esayim, it's a mitzvah. You have to send away. Why twice? Obviously, even if it's repeatedly, the mother comes back. Ves habanim tikachlach, and the children, the babies, you can take for you. The mani tavlach v'arachta yamim, and then you will have good happening, and you will live long. So the main mitzvah here we see is to send away the mother prior to taking the eggs or the babies or the chicks. So why is it called shiluach haken? The sending of the nest. I'm not sending no nest away. The nest remains in place. I'm sending the mother. It should have said shiluach ha'em. Look in Yoreh De'ah, it says shilוח haken. All Chazal say shilוח haken. What are they hinting here that shiluach of the ken, shiluach of the nest? Why not the shiluach of the mother? We're going to try to tackle a little bit the opinions here. What Chazal tried to explain the reason of the mitzvah, and we are going to take only one aspect, which I promised to one person in this year, and therefore I'm going to stick to it. Otherwise, I could have told you other things, but there's a tremendous limud here that not only helps the person for Yom Adin. Obviously, if I had time to expand on this, you would see din disappears before people like this. But also on the whole year. And you're going to see that Chazal are going to compare this to Shiluach haken. Okay. Because after this year, all of you are going to go in the street and anywhere with flashlight tonight looking for a nest, because you're going to want to do Shiluach haken. And if you would know more after the share of Shabbos, I think you're going to hire people looking for you for a nest, because you're going to want to do it. But there's another way to do shilוח again. There's another way, and we'll see the session. So let's start this year. The Mishnah in Chulin says that this mitzvah of Shiluach HaKen is a mitzvah that is applied, exists, whether it's in Eretz Israel. Some mitzvahs are only depending on the land of Israel. Some others are everywhere. Shiluach HaKen is one of these mitzvahs that be done everywhere. It's not like Bikurim that you have to have the Beis Hamikdash. It's not like Truma. It's not like any such mitzvah, but it's a mitzvah like whatever this occurs, you have to do. Exceptions are when, as we mentioned before, if you have birds ready in your house, it has something that's not ready. There has to be something that you stumble on. But if it's something that you have prepared, the mitzvah doesn't apply. Amazing. It's not a mitzvah in the bird. The Torah starts ki yikare, when it will happen. What's so important about this? It has to occur. It cannot be. The whole mitzvah, we see, depends on these words, ki yikare. When? Oh, by the way, I have a new question now. What do you mean ki yikare? You want to tell me it's an occurrence? Im yikare, if it happens, but not when it happens. Who knows that I'm going to stumble over a nest? Who said so? The mitzvah is dafka when it occurs. So if it occurs, if it happens, no, the Torah didn't say that. It says when it happens. Oh, what do you have in mind for us in there? When it happens. Who controls this when here? Because it's not an if, it's a when. Now we have other dinim also, that if you stumble on the nest of still the Mishnah there, on the nest of a non-kosher bird, the mitzvah of Shiluach HaKen doesn't exist. Even if the mother hovering on the birds is not the real mother, it's a mother that non-kosher mother. You know, there's some birds that like to put the eggs, they're lazy, so they put the eggs in other birds' nests. No Shiluach HaKen. Even though the eggs, you're an expert and you recognize them, they come from a kosher bird. Opposite too. If it's a kosher bird that hovers over a nest where there are non-kosher eggs, no Shiluach HaKen. Well, so the only time there is Shiluach HaKen is when you have the kosher mother, even if it's not the mother, the kosher mother with kosher eggs. Okay. What is the Torah here hinting us? Why only the kosher, you have to send away? It should have been the opposite. Because truly, I don't understand this mitzvah at all. It says about HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'rachmav al kol ma'asav. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has rachmim on every creature. And the Gemara says even on a mosquito. So why giving us a mitzvah that goes against what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is and against the midah of the Bnei Israel? Bnei Israel, Rachmanim, Bnei Rachmanim. So why would he tell us to act? I want to call it strangely. For us, it's strange. This behavior is strange. Why giving us a mitzvah like this that doesn't go along neither with HaKadosh Baruch Hu's his midas, or the midas of the Bnei Israel. And if you want to give it to us, why don't you give it to us on the Oif Tamei? Leave the Oif Tarek, we know in the Oif Tarek they have Gilgulim and everything. Leave them alone. Why should they suffer? The Mishnah says in Brachos, I just want to try to approach through Pshat first, the reason of that mitzvah. Once I'll destroy everything, B'ez Hashem, we're going to go dive a little bit. And we're going to see, that's going to be refreshing. And we're going to see a brand new world. So the Mishnah says in that someone that davens, someone who says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please have mercy on this bird's nest. We shut him up. And there's a machlekes in the Gemara. Why do we have to shut him up? One says, Rabbi Yosef Baravin says, because he instills jealousy in Ma'aseh Bereshis, why do you daven just for them, those birds, and you don't daven for someone? Because the koyach of the mouth of a person through the tefillah is extremely powerful. So you create a jealousy in the world, and the world doesn't need jealousy. And Rabbi Yosef Azvida says that because he's making the midas of HaKadosh Baruch Hu rachmi. HaKadosh Baruch Hu transcends all these words. It's gzeres that come out from him. He's above. For us to be able to comprehend at a very low level, and those who learn Shabbos, Eitzos Chaim can understand that, only after the Ein Sof went into Adam Kadmon, only after we went Akudim, Nekudim, and now we're coming to Atzilus, then we have in front of us three lines. We have Chasadim, Vuros, and Rachmi. Because otherwise, we're unable to comprehend the mitzvahs and this world. But above, none of this exists. So this person is decreasing the level of the midas of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that is not allowed. Okay. I'm willing to go back on the Mishnah again a different way, and let's see, because I don't understand the Amoraim here. This person, from the goodness of his heart, he's a Jew, he's a Rahman. He tells HaKadosh Baruch Hu, have mercy on these birds. If you would find a bird on the street and is right next to you, or he fell in your property, and you would see him that, I don't know, I'll take an extreme example. The mother died. And you see the little chicks here all along, and they're screaming, and so forth. What would you do? You would have rachamim and feed them. So what did this guy do wrong? When he wants to be mamshich, he wants to bring down the rachamim of HaKadosh Baruch Hu even on birds. It shows that he has the midah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's all. The same way David HaMelech says, "V'rachma val kol ma'asav include that bird." So what has he done wrong? I understand the kvetch here, the gzeres of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but we're not up there. We're not even in Atzilus. We're not even in Olam HaBeria. We're not in Olam HaYetzira. We are in Olam HaAsiya, where things happen. If things happen here, the Rachmim come down here. Yes, there is such a thing as Midas HaRachmim here. We say it in the Ne'ilah, Midas HaRachmim is goyli. Unroll, unveil yourself. So why not When the Midas Rachmim hits the world, it touches also the animals, even the goyim. So why do we have what do we have to shut up that person? The Rambam on the Mishnah explains, see time's flying, but I'm going to go very quick on these things because obviously we need to go down below. What is this person saying? The same way, his tefillah is like this. The same way you told Bnei Yisrael the mitzvah of lo yisikach ha'eim al habanim, don't take the mother with the children, also have mercy on us the same way. So he wants to compare Bnei Yisrael to the bird. Obviously, you see Hannah and her 7 children. I mean, countless example we have in the Holocaust, in Tachantat, in every programs. Goyim didn't care about mother, children, father, grandfather, before them, not before them. We have the mitzvah not to kill a mother and a child the same day. They don't have anything. Everything happened to us. So now this guy, the Rambam says, this guy is not allowed to pray for them. Amazing. But the Rambam gives a logic behind it, and he says, because what triggered the mitzvah is the mercy of Hashem. And that's not true. And this is where he's wrong. Meaning that HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't order us the mitzvah of lo yisikach ha'em al habanim to have mercy on the mother. No, that's not the reason. It says because if mitzvahs were triggered by such reasons, like mercy, in that case, HaKadosh Baruch Hu should have never told us to shech the behemoth. We should have not been able, like Adam Arisha, not eating flesh. That's it. But the Rambam says, you know what? That mitzvah has no reason. We don't know the reason. Very deep, we don't know the reason. So in other words, there's no emotions involved in all this. It's not because you have mercy or you have achzarius or anything like this. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us mitzvahs and we don't move. Platonic, that's the Rambam. The Rabbeinu Bachye here brings the Rambam in Yoreh Nevuchim, and in Yoreh Nevuchim he does give a reason, but he's soiser what he said in the Pershah Mishnayos. The Torah wanted to teach us, you know, Yoreh Nevuchim is philosophy. It's a philosophic, but you know also that in the 1200, when the Balei HaTosfos, they burnt the Yoreh Nevuchim by the place Notre Dame in Paris, 2 weeks later, they burnt all over there at the same place. They burnt the top, the whole top. There was, I forgot how many carts of, and it was handwritten at that time. So it's not like you're printing 24. And you can have a lot. Huh?
I think it was 24 carts.
24 carts? Yeah. Full of the whole shas, and they were burnt. And Rabbi Yechiel Paris, and that's after that he moved to Akko in Eretz Yisrael, where he met the Ramban there, because He's from Paris. The Ramban was from Spain, Gironde. He realized that even the Moreh Nevuchim was Sefer Kodesh, and that was a oynesh. There was a oynesh for what they burnt. So Mimele the Torah, the Frenchies burnt also the church. They burnt. So just want to put this into perspective. So he explains that the Torah wanted to teach us to have manners, to understand. There's certain things, okay, we need to do. You need to cut vegetables from the ground. You need food. So you need to take those birds, okay? You want to eat, you want to take those birds. But don't do them like a behemoth. Don't do them in front of a mother. Have a little bit of mercy. Have a little bit of conscience about what this mother is going to go through. And that's what the Torah wants to teach us. I don't understand that, because in that case, why is the mitzvah applying only to a kosher bird? Should apply also to a non-kosher bird. If the mitzvah is on us to have, what do we care if we deal with a kosher bird, kosher animal, kosher whatever, or non-kosher? Makes no difference. It's a request from the Torah to have a little bit of conscience. Now, Rabbanel wants to come with a different approach. He's also attacking the Rambam and his answer, and he compares it to the mitzvah of cutting off a tree. Only a tree that doesn't bear fruits you're allowed to cut, but anything that bears fruits you're not allowed to cut. Since the mother is the one that bears fruits, you have a prohibition to take her, because taking her would even up taking or cutting off a fruit tree would be the same as cutting off a fruit tree, and this you cannot. It's why? Because the livelihood of people depends on those who provide fruits. And therefore, cutting off livelihood, you're not allowed to. The truth, this is all very difficult. Because in that case, I have my chicken coop, or I have my pigeon coop. There, I'm allowed to take it that way. Why don't you tell me to have the same thing over there? There, I'm allowed to take the mother too. So why is it not prohibited? Why only if it's not mezumen, if it's not ready, if it's an occurrence? This doesn't fit in the pasuk always. Unbelievable. And Moshe David Lutzato Shadal wants to, who's great in philosophy also, and wants to give a pshat on this philosophic pshat. And I'm stopping after that on the pshat, because honestly, these are Gdoile Olam, and I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Obviously, there's more soidus in their words, but I cannot comprehend that. So he comes philosophically here, Moshe David Lutzato, and he says, the mother is only here because she cares for her baby, her offspring. Otherwise, try to catch a bird if it's not in its nest. You won't be able to. So the only reason the mother still hovers over there, she's dead scared from you. But she would give her life in order to save her offspring. Don't punish such a good mitzvah. There's some truth in their word which are huge and can explode the mind. The same way you cannot, the Torah asks you to reward a good deed. This is a good deed from an animal, and you have to respect you cannot punish this animal because it shows Rachmanus on Mitzvot spring. You respect the midah of Rachmanus. I buy that. I understand this. Emes lamitoi. This is true, but this is not the pshat of the mitzvah of Shilוח. Let's go to the Zohar. Because we need to understand this occurrence, and we need to understand, what is the Torah telling us about these interesting languages. Zohar starts. There's a lot of birds in the world, and they all, how do you say in English, Menachem, how do you call this? The metzavtzef. They are.
What was that?
The birds, they chirp.
Chirping.
Chirping. Thank
Chirping.
you very much. So all, there's a lot of birds, and these birds are chirping. And who are these birds? They are neshamis of the Bnei Israel, and they're chirping to their mother in order to get shefa. Who is their mother? The Shechina. In other words, the Zohar compares us when we go to shul and we daven, like, with our body we are talking, we are saying, but the neshama is chirping. You're gonna see what a soid we have here. Stay with me and you're gonna see. Where is the Shechina? The Shechina came down on earth. And who's keeping her? Who's keeping her? The Bnei Israel with their good deeds, with their actions. And they all call Tzipporim, they're all birds. Okay. So the Shechina came down on earth. The Shechina now has its nest in Olam HaAsiyah. I'm just translating. And we are not talking just about a bird's nest that we're talking on the way. We are talking about something a lot deeper. And that's what it says in Tehillim, Gam Tzippor Matzah Bais. Even a bird found a place to nest, a house. Where is Bais? Bais is base. Letter base is written in full, Bais. Say the Zohar, this is the base of Bereshis, and this is where Kucha Berichu comes and resides. This is the Shechina, which is the mother of the Bnei Israel, the neshamis of the Bnei Israel, is the nest of HaKadosh Baruch. It's making it complicated. It's very complicated now. And who created that house, that Shechina? Bechachma, Shlomo Melech says, and this is where the Zohar ends, and it says, Bechachma Yibane Bais. The Chachma, Abba, for those who understand that, Abba, Bana, Bais, Brata. He created his daughter, like a father, that has a daughter. You consider the father created the daughter. Okay. Father can have a son, he can have a daughter, but the just tells us the daughters are close to the father, the boys are close to their mother. So Kucha Berichu and the Bina are very close. Shechina and Chachma are very close. And this is also true at the human level. Okay, we understand that now. We injected a different level of birds. we're not talking about in the Torah, ki yikare is not talking about just a dove that a dove's nest that you meet on the road. We're talking about the street. Okay. I don't understand how to enter this in the words yet, but let's try to understand the words of this Zohar, this tikkunim, with a different tikkunim in Zohar Chadash. I mentioned to you this a lot of times. I told you when we're gonna get to Parshas Kiseitze, I'll give you the mikvah. The Nesher, we're gonna see that the Shechina resembles three birds. When the Shechina is in Olam HaBeriah, meaning we raised it, and it's Olam, when we say Olam HaBeriah, meaning with the Bina, with her mother, Ima Tasa, the lower mother, with Ima Ilah, with the higher mother, they're together. At that point, she's complete. The other side cannot come and take away the Kedusha from her. Let me explain it. When we do a Maaseh here, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu had to punish Reshaim on every deed, because there's a deed in them, there would be no one living in this world. So what is the Shechina doing for the Bnei Yisrael? The Shechina is taking the din instead of us. And what is the din? The din is someone did the Avera Islam. Some of the Kedusha goes to the other side. So it's a piece of the Shechina that's taken away, some of her flesh pulled away and given to the wolves on the other side, to the dogs. And after that, the Shechina builds up, tries to change that person. If it doesn't change, after so many warnings, the Shechina will require the din in order to fill herself back up. She's only taking the din temporarily, but afterward, that din has to go on the person. So when the Shechina is close to the Bina, there's no din anymore. We cannot affect her without deeds. There's no more din. The same way an eagle is unafraid from all other birds, no other birds can attack an eagle. So the same way, the Shechina at that time, when it's with the Nesher Agadol, it's also called Nesher. Also is called eagle. And the same way, and when was it that they were together? When the Shechina lived in Yerushalayim, in Eretz Yisrael, down here, and when the Bina was in Yerushalayim Shamala. At that point, nobody could touch the Jews. We were fearless. Nobody could overpower us, despite that we had no army, no training, no nothing. Nobody would come and invade us. And the one who had the chutzpah to do it, he was dying. So this is the Nesher. Now, when the Shechina goes down to Olam HaYetzira, in the world where creation occurred, it's the world where Adam HaRishon was created. Yetzira. At that point, the Shechina is called Yoina. Why? Because the Zohar explains in Vayakhel, the whole Megillas Yoina, that it's only talking about the Neshama, what the Neshama comes in Galus in this world, and he explained all the Psukim according to this. Yoina is the name of the Neshama of a Ben Israel. So when the Shechina goes down to this world, it's called Yoina. We're going to understand in a little bit. But when the Shechina goes down to the lower world, to this world where Olam Asiyah, the world of doing, it's called Tzippor. He goes also with the Malachim. I don't want to go too deep here, gotta be careful a little bit. When it comes to this world, it's a Tzippor which is always in danger. Always in danger. And therefore, now the Torah is going to tell us, according to this, we understand these languages, these birds, and what we have to do for the Shekhinah according to where it's situated and what it needs. In order to understand that, I want to bring first a halacha we have from the Gemara in Bava Metzia and in Choshen Mishpat Siman Ein Beis, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu requested the mitzvah from the lender. Someone lent money, Reuven lent money to Shimon. Reuven is a rich guy, Shimon is a poor guy. And he gave in collateral, he gave his cloth, his night cloth. He gave his vessels with which he makes food. So he gave a collateral. The Torah tells the lender, Ulecha tihiyeh tzedakah, that it would be considered mitzvah of tzedakah if you return those items at the time that the ani needs them, because he doesn't have two of them. So if it's the cloth, return it. We say it's a cloth of a night cloth, so return it every night. Come back every morning and take it. That's a mitzvah of tzedakah. If it's his vessels, from which either he works or he cooks during the day, every day return them, come back at night and take them back. That's the way you have to take the collateral, deal with the ani, and it's a tzedakah. And from there, the Gemara learns a huge din, which is the halacha in Choshen Mishpat. Loive koine mashkan. Malve, the lender, when you give him, how can he be tzedakah? Can you make tzedakah with someone else's money? No, it's not tzedakah. You're not allowed to touch someone else's money. So the Gemara says, how can he be tzedakah? Is because it's your money. The mashkoin, when he gives, it's only a collateral, but this collateral, you already acquired it. Now, if we look in Elul, we take the pasuk, Utzdaka tiye lanu. If you take this pasuk and you take the last letters, I'm going to show it to you. Just want to quickly, and I'm going to go into the heart of the shir with that. If you take this letter, hey, last letters, hey, what do we have coming out? Hey, hey, vav, yud. Vav, yud. It's the tziruf of Chodesh Elul. On Chodesh Elul, we have something else that's added. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said that in the pasuk, "Venosati mishkani b'soichechem," I will give my mishkan. So learns the Zohar in Parshas Bechukoisai, not mishkani, my mishkan, mashkoin, my collateral. Bnei Yisrael said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you promise you're going to live with us. How do we know you're going to live with us? How do we know you're not going to leave us? So you're going to make us a nation. You're going to put us in the middle of all 70 wolves. And you want us to leave? Oh, yes. If you're among us, we can live. We're not afraid of the others. But what guarantees us that you're going to stay? So Baruch Hu says, I'm going to give you a mashk. What's the mashkin that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives? What collateral? He gives them the shechina. Shechina comes from the word mashkin. So the collateral, so that's why the shechina is following the Bnei Yisrael wherever they are. And this is the guarantee that we're going to have Geula Shleima. Besides the fact that on the second pasuk here, it's all about the Mashiach. The Zohar goes at an extent to explain us where the neshama of the Mashiach is, how the Geula will happen, what would happen when the Mashiach, in details what's going to happen, all from this, from these two psukim. But I'm on a different side right now. I'm going just to explain the reason of that mitzvah. And therefore, when we keep the Shechina, how do we keep the Shechina? How do we safeguard the Shechina from the wolves? Is when we do mitzvahs. So we are obligated to do mitzvahs. But on Elul, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, you're going to have the mitzvah of tzedakah exactly like the land. Remember, we learned the mitzvah of tzedakah last week, the week before, how huge it is. And now every mitzvah we're doing in Elul, that's why the tziruf of Elul is in this passage. And despite the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't go into Eretz Oamim, he doesn't go into foreign lands, stays in Eretz Yisrael, but the mashkain of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Shechina of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, wherever Jews are, it is. So now we're going to start really going and explaining everything here. There's a pasuk I should have copied, and I'm going to copy it now. I don't think I put it in. Sure. Yeah, I did put it in. Okay, this pasuk in Mishlei Shlomo HaMelech says, Lo yo'ilu otzrois resha. Pashtus. When comes Yom Adin, you can have as much wealth as you want. And the Zohar attaches up when it comes the last day of the person. He can be as rich as he wants. He cannot buy himself away from what's going to happen to him. He cannot avoid it. He's going to die. Despite the amount of money he has, and there's no way you buy it. Tzedakah tatzil mimavis. And tzedakah, so we said, just to remember a little bit of the mitzvah of tzedakah, but here I'm going to take it a totally different way than what we've seen beforehand. So the only purpose here, we have Yom Adin coming, we have tzedakah. Yom Adin, we want to have good gzeres and not chas v'shalom bad gzeres, which are compared to misa. That's why we have to understand that every time the Torah gives us the mitzvah, amount our mitzvahs to doing on top of this tzedakah with the Shechina and with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's a huge tzedakah. So and the power of tzedakah is tatzil mimavis. Okay, what do I have to do on Elul in order to reach this? Because this is unbelievable baggage to take with us to Yom Adin. 2 words: sfas emes. Speak truth. Sfas emes. We spoke about the truth last week and everything. What's the side that Everything is totally in the mouth. What about the other mitzvahs that I have to do? What about making parnasa for your family? What about the tzedakah of taking a coin and giving to ani? No, we're not talking about this one. We're talking about the mouth. What's in the mouth? What's this pheasants? This equals to 780. The day of the Satan is called Tisha B'Av. Okay, I don't have time. I'm not going to waste time for putting the boils. In other words, the Satan has one day. We don't put the tefillin in the morning on time. We don't do nothing because that's the day of the Satan. Which on that same day was born Mashiach. So you see, we're going to see the relationship very, very soon. So when someone has a mouth and he keeps his mouth, he is capable of overcoming even the biggest power of the Satan when he removed all Kedusha and he made a day. What is it? What is that day? That day equals 30 times Yud Kei Vav Kei. The Mishnah says in Avos, Vav, Mishnah, Perek Vav, Mishnah Vav. Malchus niknes b'shloishim miles. The Malchus, okay, the Mishnah talks about the real Malchus. Here we're changing a little bit the words, but Lamed represents the Shechina because the Shechina, there's 30 miles in it. So once you have, when someone keeps his mouth, Shechina times HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and you know what oil comes out of this. We only at the beginning. We only at the beginning. The Igra de Kala, the Bnei Yissaschar, says that Adam Arishon, when he did the chet, he was poigem in 3 aleph. The aleph of the Shem Adnus, the aleph of, so aleph is gone, din remained. That's why he was judged like this harshly. The aleph of Adam remained only dam, and the aleph of Emes, and that's how death came to the world. Avraham Avinu was mesaken this aleph, the first one. Yitzchak, because he says he is the one, the first one to call Adon the lashon of master to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He is the one that brought the reconnaissance of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the world. He made it the master of the world. He reconnected the name. Yitzchak Avinu spilled his blood, was ready to spill his blood on the Mizbeach. What was his intention? To be mesaken from Dam to re-become Adam. And those who knows understand what it means. Yaakov Avinu took the Misa, took it away, and re-added the Aleph. So he was mesaken this Aleph, and he became Emes. And that's why we say Yaakov lo Emes. He couldn't die because he was the one who was mesaken the Misa. Look at the side we have here. You know, it says Titan Emes Yaakov, that's how everyone got the Midah. Fine. The pasuk in Tehillim says, "Ki hitzalta nafshi mimoves, eseini min dimra esragli midechi, hitzalta nafshi mimoves." you saved my nefesh, my soul, from death. Yaakov Avinu. What happened? When he did, Yaakov Avinu, his midah was always to speak truth. And by speaking truth, he got a puma kadisha, that anything that was coming out of this mouth was right away like a gzera. We'll see in a little bit, how high it goes, the puma kadisha, a saint mouth, meaning a mouth that not only speak truth, but truth is the last result, the last level, is when this mouth doesn't say nivul pei, is when this mouth doesn't say lashon hara, is when this mouth doesn't say diburim asurim, like speaking on Shabbos about business and so forth. That's a puma kadisha. What happens to this mouth? So Yaakov Avinu did the emes. And since he did that, there's no more dinim, there's no more I don't want to go too deep here. A person that has reached a level where he watches his mouth, he watches his language. The mouth represents the 10 spheres. Everything that we have in the body is in the mouth. Whenever a person misuses his mouth, that part of the body will be affected by the language he used. Put it that way. So I said here, how do we save ourselves from Moves, that David HaMelech says? Through the mouth. Moves equals 286 equals Adam Emes. In other words, you could go back to here, and these two olives, just with your mouth, you can correct them. Now, we know what Adam is valued, we know what Emes is on the K, and so forth. I'm not going into there. I just want to explain bluntly, here, we need to go to Yom Adin, and Yom Adin is every day. So how do we do this tzedakah to the Shechina? How do we do this Tzippor? And how do we raise the malchus all the way up so there's no more din on that person? The pasuk said, the Torah says on Yaakov Avinu in Micha, Titen emes leYaakov, Chesed Avram, and so forth. We say it every day in Uval Etzion after davening. So Titen emes leYaakov. Yaakov received emes, but we know Yaakov why he received emes, because he was only, we said, speaking truth. So what happened? His reward equals to 1503. And this is 3 times malchus. The person, when he says emes, and we think, oh, we're not affecting the malchus, it's something, coming from the other worlds and so forth. No, really. I'll show you how. It is when the person says emes, talks the truth, doesn't stop and doesn't allow his mouth to become a sewer, this person, with anything he says, it's like a commandment, because the Shechina loves him, because he raised her. 3 times malchus. Why? because he takes her from Olam HaBeria to, Olam HaSiyah to Olam HaYetzirah. Olam HaYetzirah, like the Zohar says, Mamish on the Tzippor, and I'll finish by proving you the point. And from Olam HaYetzirah to Olam HaBeria, and he doesn't stop there. Emes goes higher. Emes Eres Titzmach, HaKadosh Baruch Hu through, it's in Shamayim was the Emes, and he returns it back into Atzilus. Raising the level to where the Choch. But it's not only bringing her to the Nesher, bringing her to the Father, to the Chochmah. Once you're able to raise, and how do you raise this? With your mouth. No other mitzvah. We think, oh, mitzvah there, I'm going to do chesed, I'm going to do this. Keep a clean mouth. What's the connection? You know, I'm going to jump to conclusions here because I want to move on. How to give you this is always a problem, not to go too deep, so it could be digestible. Okay, let's go in the language of the pasuk. That'll be the easiest. We asked the question, why is it an aleph here? It should have been a hey. We asked the second question, why is it ki when it should have been in it? I'm going to give it to you through the language of the pasuk and through our questions. It's going to be a lot more digestible. If we take, okay, we have a question here. What is the pasuk hiding here? So this value is here, 341. The month of Elul is the 5th month after Nisan. So when we have the Midas de Rachmim, we have to take the 5th one. It's Verav Chesed. The Midah of Elul, there's a lot of Chesed from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we see because he enables every mitzvah to turn into tzedakah. Now you take Elul, Verav Chesed, you have 341. But I know you're not satisfied with it. And you're only going to be happy if I write that. Ab, Side, Ma, Kasa. We're not coming to Asiya. We are in the Chachma. The shemis of the Chachma come out. The shame of the Bina comes out. Ki Yikare. Yikare, we say it's calling also. Yeah. Who's calling you? Because you have a clean mouth. The Chochma and the Bina call you and tells you how to be mesaken the Tzippor. I'm going to show you what it means, Tzippor. If I take, okay, Ki Yikare. The next few words. Tzippor lefanecha. Okay, what tikkun do I have to do? Okay, they call me. If they call me from so high, I feel the urge to do something. What's in there? This equals 716. This equals the yichud. Yud, K, Vav, K, in full. Aleph, Dalet, Nun, Yud. That person that has a clean mouth can put the Shechina and HaKadosh Baruch Hu in full, not in just Yud Ke Vav Ke in a quickie. And what did this equals? What is he doing, this person? This equals to Nachash. Nachash. In other words, when we say he has no dinim, everything is in a few words. Kain Tzippor, why lefanecha? Because before you, is the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that goes. The Nachash cannot approach you. A person that has Puma Kadisha, the Nachash stays away from him. He knows this guy is protected by higher powers that we can't touch him. It's above Chesed. It's Chochmah and Bina, Yudke. He's in the Yudke, we stay away because the oil of the Yudke burns the Nachash, so he doesn't start us. Look at the tikkunim this person is doing every time. By doing what? He has just worked on his mouth. If you work on your mouth, all your midas will change. Everything, your whole entire being will be different. A person, when the Zohar says he's born with a nefesh of Asiya, a ruach from Olam HaYetzirah, a neshama from Olam HaBeriyah. But if he works on his mouth, he's getting nefesh ruach neshama from Olam HaAtzilis. And he's a different person. He has different asagas. He has different everything. Now, yes, he can have a nefesh from Olam HaYetzirah, which is better already, and bit by bit raise himself. But the way to raise yourself, the way for you to be a different entire being is by working on the mouth. Now we ask on the pasuk here, we didn't understand this language. We didn't have to say that because it means anywhere. So just don't say nothing, and we know baderech everywhere. And that's only for Menachem because I'm skipping a word. Baderech, it means two derech. Derech is 224, 2 times Yabok. There's 2 ways to write Yabok. Either it's Yud Ke Vav Ke Elohikim, or it's Yud Ke Vav Ke Ye Adnus. And this, I'm going to keep it for Shabbos, but I'm going to explain this to your guys. But for you tonight, so you know I didn't skip a word in the pasuk. Every pasuk has a shemes, but this is too deep for that shir, so I'm not going to go into it. So we had extra words since we can have the nest anywhere. This equals to 616. Kasa, mamish the kavanis of Yom Kippur, of the Shmoneh Esrei Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah. Kamag, unbelievable. Even me, I'm Kamag. By the way, I could tell you that this equals Magen Avraham, and I can explain it in the Kavanah, and so forth. You know, we can go on and go deeper and deeper with these shems, you know, has no end. What is he telling me? I'm going back again. So, in Elul, when it's the Rav Chesed, because I have a clean mouth, then the Chochmah will call, not, that's why it doesn't say im, will call the person and the Bina, and will tell me how to use. I will learn. I will have the asaga. I will reach. I will understand how to use the yichud of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the Shechina in order to take away the nachash from me and from all the dinim and so forth, and all them. And then the mother, the upper mother, which is the Bina, will shine upon, once on that individual, will shine with the oil of the nesher, of the eagle. The Zohar says, when the nesher, which is the Bina, extend her wings and covers the Shechina, Hapoire sukkah shalom aleinu. What's sukkah shalom? A sukkah of peace. What is the sukkah of peace? What is sukkah shalom? Says the Zohar is the Bina. When the Bina spreads her wings on the Shechina, on the Bnei Yisrael. At that moment, all the Chitzonim, all the Dinim, all the Tsaras leave this world, which will be at the time of Mashiach. On the whole world, the Shechina will be able to spread her wings. So now, what do I have to do? I'm going to take it a different way. This equal to 867 equals Avodas Hashem. What is Avodas Hashem? Avodah Shebalev, from the heart, not getting crazy and pretending to do. The avodah that changed the midas, the avodah that watched the mouth, the avodah that gives a person a puma kadisha. And I told you that elevates the person all the way he can be zoiche to nefesh ruach neshama de atzilis, because now the bina is with him already in beria. He can go and go higher. He can reach level and hasagis in the chokhmah, because we here the shemis here are from the chokhmah. I'm sorry if I was afraid on that shir, but I have to give it in explaining, because if we come to Yom Adin with an improved mouth, it's already huge. Even if it's not completed, but just an improved mouth, I can guarantee you have nothing to be afraid of the din. Now, why did he repeat twice, Efroichim Obeitzim? What are these Efroichim Obeitzim? What are these Shabbos? I'll give a different types on this. We're going to go into Gilgulim on this. But the Efroichim Obeitzim here equals 498. Equals the 3 Yechudim of Olam HaBeria Kel Shakai, from Olam HaYetzira Kel Yudke Vavke, from Olam HaAsiya Kel Aretz. Here's the elevator. If you do that, if you have a Puma Kadisha, you're not anymore at the place of the Dinim. That's why you are saved from Yom Adin. And if you need one more proof here, you're taking, which one was that? Tshuva Oilama equals the same amount. With a little bit of feeling, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says in this month, don't have to do a tshuva like you have to do the whole year, which is difficult, which all the hilchos tshuva of the Rambam and so forth. Here, no, you have to be just having a will. Once you have that will, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will complement all the rest of it. So we see that this cane Tzippor, this little how come I didn't tell you what cane Tzippor is? I think I'm going to stop on I made a mistake here. Shilוח is not tshuva. Sorry. Here I made a mistake. Sorry, I'm going to take this away. Cut. Tshuva Olam Haba here is Shiluach HaKen. And that's why it's called like this, to tell us that we have to work on this month. We don't have to be scared. In contrary, we have to be poised. We have to be calm in order to be able to do our avodah, and to be able to be zoiche to the present HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing with us, which is Utzdaka Tiye Lanu. The main thing is not the mitzvah itself, it's a tzedakah that comes with it that's extremely powerful, and this tzedakah is what makes the difference in Yom Hadin. And as the Zohar says, the mitzvah of Shiluach HaKen is mechaperes on the avodas. Since we use that the tikkunim in order to touch it up with the mouth, a person who works on his mouth, has a puma kadisha, the Zohar says, has kaparas avodas. Wow. Now we said we have to do a tshuva. What tshuva? I told you that the mouth contains the whole body. By just working on our language, just working to have a pei kadosh, a mouth that only speaks good, speaks brachas, speaks everything, and this is the biggest tshuva we can go with into Yom Hadin and be zoiche to all the brachas, b'mehera b'yameinu, and to see the Mashiach, because the place where the Mashiach, the neshama of the Mashiach is called Ken Tzippor, but this is for Shabbos. Amen ve'amen.